What if I told you that humans once abandoned 100 sheep on a frozen island? And when people returned decades later, those sheep were no longer normal animals. They had changed, they had evolved, and their wool became more valuable than gold. This is not science fiction. This is not a myth. This actually happened. And the place where it happened rewrote the rules of evolution. In the cold waters of the Southern Ocean, near New Zealand, lies a remote and brutal island. No cities, no trees, no mercy, relentless winds, freezing temperatures, and violent storms dominate this land. A place where survival itself feels impossible. Yet this island was about to become the site of one of nature's most shocking experiments. The story begins in the year 1895. The New Zealand government leased this isolated island for livestock farming. A farmer named James Golden arrived with around 400 merino sheep. His goal was simple: raise sheep, harvest wool, and make profit. Merino wool was famous for being soft, valuable, and highly demanded. On paper, this plan looked perfect, but nature had other ideas. The island turned into a nightmare. Powerful storms battered the land. Winds were strong enough to knock animals over. Temperatures dropped to bone-chilling levels. There were no trees for shelter, very little grass for food. Keeping sheep alive here was nearly impossible. Losses kept increasing. Money kept draining. Finally, fear took control. James Golden made a decision that would change history forever. He left the island, and he abandoned the sheep. 400 sheep were left alone. No humans, no protection, no sharing, no help. Most experts would have said they were doomed. Domesticated sheep depend on humans to survive. If their wool is not cut, it grows uncontrollably, causing infections, blindness, and death. Everyone assumed these sheep would disappear within a few years. But something unexpected happened. By 1931, reports revealed something shocking. Instead of dying out, the sheep population had exploded. There were now nearly 4,000 sheep on the island. Scientists were confused. How were they surviving without humans? This was supposed to be impossible. And yet, they were thriving. For decades, the island remained untouched. No farming, no visitors, only wind, cold, and sheep. Nature was silently doing its work. Then, in the 1970s, humans finally returned. What they discovered left everyone stunned. These were not ordinary sheep anymore. They had changed. Their legs were longer, helping them move across rocky terrain. Their jaws were stronger, allowing them to chew tough, wild grass. But the biggest surprise was their wool. These sheep had evolved the ability to shed excess wool naturally. They no longer needed humans to shear them. In the harshest conditions, evolution had rewritten their biology. These animals had become something new. They were later called super sheep. But the real shock was still coming. Scientists collected samples of the wool that had naturally fallen off the sheep and sent it to laboratories for testing. The results were unbelievable. This wool was finer, softer, and stronger than regular merino wool. It was even softer than cashmere. What farmers once considered useless had turned into one of the rarest fibers on earth. Nature had transformed failure into treasure. Luxury fashion houses in Italy and across Europe took notice. This wool became highly desirable in the high-end fashion industry. Over the next decade, the New Zealand government earned massive profits just from collecting the naturally shed wool. The losses of the past were completely recovered. An abandoned mistake had become an economic miracle. This story teaches us something powerful. When humans interfere, nature resists. When humans leave, nature adapts. What was left to die was reshaped by evolution itself. The sheep did not survive despite being abandoned. They survived because they were abandoned. Sometimes, when humans step away, nature steps in and does something extraordinary. Nature doesn't need us to survive, but sometimes survival needs to forget us.